aika huivit ylös nostaa. SJK! Ei me luovuteta koskaan. Ei koskaan. SJK! Jos et tajunnut tosta, niin se Seinäjoen jalkapallokerho. SJK! Ja muita joo, eikä tuu, se on meidän kerho.
Moi Anna.
And I'm Jules, and this is the Seinäjoki Football Supporters Podcast, bringing you news, reviews and interviews from SJK Seinäjoki.
Yeah, but we're doing it in English for an international fan base. And we often have a guest joining us. So Jules, who's joining us for this episode?
Well, I'm very excited, Mark.
Because?
Actually, well, I'm not. Absolutely no one, mate. Because we couldn't get our together.
No, we couldn't.
But we do have a guest lined up for the next episode already. So
yeah, we do. And we even last Monday talked about who we were going to have on and still didn't manage to organise it. That's kind of life gets in the way sometimes.
I think it was the issue was that we didn't know when we were going to record this. And so I'm at the cottage. So apologies for any bad sound quality and stuff like that. So I think
you haven't got your usual headphones, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery with the audio afterwards and see if we can smooth it out. But it's good that we chat anyway.
I know you're talented, mate, but you can't do anything about the boat race, can you?
Actually, I think on Zoom you can put filters on it. It'll take years.
Oh, okay.
but I'm not putting filters on me, so I'm not giving you the option either.
And for those of you who want to learn language at the same time, boat race is Cockney rhyming slang for face.
Yeah, and now everyone will understand why we can't possibly do anything about your face.
The boat race, yeah.
Okay,
right,
enough.
So start with some shout outs.
Yeah, let's do that shout out because we're coming out with this episode after the two away games at Vaasa and Pietarsaari against VPS and Jaro, and just before the last couple of games of the Runkosarja, the regular part of the season. So we've had two good away games that we're going to talk through, and at both of those games, I saw my toilet acquaintance Jaro at both games. Only one occasion in the toilets, but we were all queuing up at that time. He came in with a big smile on his face. But if I keep bumping into him in toilets, I will consider taking out a restraining order because this is getting silly now.
I think it's okay as long as you don't start comparing.
No, that's true. But there weren't at Jaro. There weren't enough urinals for anyone to stand. Too many people to stand side by side comparing.
Yeah.
But I also bumped into Julio at the Jaro game. Yeah. And Julio's from Argentina, been living in Seinäjoki for many, many years. And I haven't seen him for a while. It was lovely to have a catch up. So Julio, if you're listening, see you again soon, hopefully.
Hola.
Hola. Oh, you're a cunning linguist, Jules.
I studied with Julio when we did our teaching qualifications.
Oh, did you together?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I guessed his password.
Don't tell it. Don't tell it now. On that would be literally, tens of people that would know his password. We can't do that. We can't dox him.
I think now there's more options. In those days, it was only Maradona. Now there's more options.
Right. Messi, 1, 2, 3, 4. But those two games, we had an incredible turnout, didn't we?
Oh, it's fantastic. Really great away support in both games, especially, I think, for the Jaro being a Monday night and a little bit further. Brilliant turnout. Say 300-ish on both nights.
I haven't heard any official numbers, but I would have said sort of 250, 300 maybe. It looks incredible on the TV, and both grounds are quite different because Vaasa's ground is quite steep and our section is narrow and goes back, and then at Jaro it was a smaller ground, less steep stand, but we had a much wider section. It looked great.
Wider but shorter.
Yeah.
It did look good. It looked good. Well, for both, I think there were 3 buses. Is that right? Like two lots of buses for the fans, which were full, and one for the club employees.
Yeah, like a VIP bus.
Yeah.
Looking at it's true, and that was really really impressive. And I think I've said it many times before, the work that the Kloppets done to organise travel and get people excited about travelling away is unbelievable. I know they're the two sort of most local games we have, and there's an upcoming game in Haka where people are travelling in their own cars, but still, you know, what they've been doing is really, really good. It makes it exciting. It makes travelling away exciting.
Every game this season, including Faroe Islands, there's been Kloppet representatives.
Yeah.
And that's something. That really is something, because it's not always easy to travel long distances in Finland, and especially on a weekday night. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll talk about those games, both the Vaasa and the Jaro games, in a little bit more detail in a minute. But there's a few bits and pieces of news. I suppose that's mostly recently transfers. Last time we talked about Murillo coming back and flying in on a helicopter, and we talked about.
Did he get back on the helicopter? Because I haven't seen it since.
That's a really good question. That's a very good question. I suppose he can't be at the right level to be playing in the Veikkausliiga right now, whether it's fitness or, you know, general fitness or injuries or whatever. I don't know. But it's a very good question. But we did have about a month or so ago, it was announced that Josh Okpalokpo has joined us.
Well done.
I've been practicing that and teaching other people. It's not as difficult as it looks. Okpalokpo. There you go.
Okpalokpo. It sounds like a character out of Charlotte and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, it does. And he joined us from Romania, but he's actually Irish citizen, Nigerian Irish, central defender, and so far has played 3 games for the academy and come on once for the first team as well.
I think there's one for next season. I think that's helped us out this season with more depth, but I think then next season he'll possibly be starting centre back.
Well, especially as Samuel Chukwudi and Kelvin Pires are very good defenders, and you imagine they will be in demand. If we're already bringing through potential replacements, that seems quite smart work to me.
Yeah.
And you agreed.
Not saying that I want either of those two to leave, but you know, things are.
No, but we know the model of the club, and you know, sensible smaller clubs have this kind of production line, whether it's through the academy or through signings that grow into players that we can sell. So, but you've got a nickname for Josh.
I didn't realise that his Okpalokpo's first name was Josh, which is much easier to say than Okpalokpo. But because he was Irish, then Billy came up with the idea of we give him the name. Well, Larry always says that with the Chelsea player, that we call him Dave.
Yeah, so Aretha Balaga.
Yeah, no, the
Kepa Aretha Balaga.
No,
the other one.
Left back.
I can't remember Chelsea players. There's so many. Chelsea players change so much.
No, we had him for years.
Can't keep track.
Dave.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Billy came up with the name of we're giving him. He's Irish. Seamus, a nice Irish name. So I did shout down to him as they scored. We scored the 4th goal. Like, can we call you? Or was it after the game? Maybe?
After, yeah.
Can we call you Seamus? And he kind of looks at me a bit confused and like, well, if you like this. But I suppose Josh is much easier.
Yeah, Josh is even easier. Yeah, that's right. And then just a couple of days ago, it was announced that we've signed another striker, Kevin Apia Niako, who's joined us from Sweden, Ghanaian national. And actually, both these players have had a little bit of time in the lower leagues around London as well. Haven't seen or heard from them before they arrived here. They're both quite young, 22, 23 years old. But again, interesting to see another striker coming in, because we lost some players. We mentioned that Puru Hannula had left. Also, Marius Kunkala has has left SIK, gone to TPS Turku. They're currently top of Veikkausliiga. Mamadou Bojang has moved to Norway, and Nathaniel Tambi has left and gone to KTP in Kotka. So, some ins and outs, and hopefully Nyako can have an effect, because we still got 12 games left in this season, so there's plenty to play for.
Yeah, I think is he the missing piece? Not saying that our forward line has. I mean, Streng's got some goals, Tismalini's got some goals, and Casper's got loads of goals.
Yeah.
But then if you think for like, taking out Casper, then we're still missing Moreno. The number of goals. So if we had both Casper's goals and Moreno's goals, then I think we can look at winning the Veikkausliiga. Did I just say that out loud?
You did say that out loud. I heard you. You can't take it back now.
Yeah. But then, if we get a great striker, then is that the missing piece? And I don't want to disparage the strikers we've already got, but then.
And you are saying that a young player that we haven't even seen play yet is already a great striker as well.
Yeah, as I'm saying, is he the missing piece?
Yeah.
So, like, if he is, then that's great. But then, so we'll see. But
yeah, so no pressure, Kevin. No pressure, Kevin. You got 12 games.
Well,
let's see how this pans out. Okay, so let's look at the last couple of games, Jules. Sunday, 10th of August, Sunday evening. I was moaning all season that away to Vaasa on a Sunday evening. I had to go back to work after my holiday on the Monday, and we went there and got a 2-1 away win.
Great way to end a holiday, eh?
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, going back to work the first day with a sore throat and but full of beans.
Yeah. I must admit, my voice gave out a couple of times on Monday.
Yeah, it was. It's all those away games at Vaasa are generally pretty tight, and sometimes they go our way, sometimes they go against us. I think last year maybe, or the year before, where they got a last minute winner. So this one went for us, but it was quite like you were saying before. We had three buses go there, and we arrived as normal at the ground. We're driven right into the away end, basically, so there's no mingling with home fans. But there was some security there this time.
Yeah, and it was a check to get in. Okay, so if we do the Jaro game as well, the Jaro game was like very tight. We weren't allowed off the bus. They checked us one by one as we get off the bus.
That's true, yeah.
This was like more get through, but then it was the security after you getting in, that the security were kind of picking out certain people that maybe, well, that they have pre-identified, probably.
Yeah.
And giving them a good search.
Yeah, but it was really thorough at the gate, wasn't it? Like, it wasn't quite a rubber glove and whatever, but it wasn't far off. But then it was really weird to see them in the stand and sort of searching some bags and sort of, like you say, searching some people as well.
And then the game started, and it was a good set of tifo from both sets of supporters. VPS had a massive, large tifo, which is quite useful because then they can hide it. There's nobody in the stand. It covers all the empty seats. And our tifo was referring to the whole stand that was empty to our right, which is architecture. Oh, it's a beautiful place to look at. I can see why they're keeping it.
Yeah, this old wooden stand that can't be used, but because it's sort of not safe, but it can't be knocked down because it's kind of protected. And the text on, I mean, the Kloppik tifo for this game was so intricate. They even had painted the stand. It was quite recognisable, and then it translated as the riddle of the museum stand, which I think was quite nice little dig. And I heard afterwards that they're planning to reinforce that stand so that it can be used for European games. Well, no, reinforce the stand so that it's safe. They can't use it, but they will be able to use the whole ground for European games or something like that. It's quite bizarre. I don't know what. I just don't get it. It's funny. It's funny.
But VPS are never going to get into Europe.
Well, they've done it a couple of years ago. It was not that. They're not going to get there this year. They'll be lucky to get into the top half of the table this year.
How do you feel about that? Do you want them there?
No, of course not. I want them in the Veikkausliiga every year so that we can have these games and these events. But I don't want them. I'm quite happy.
Do you want them sixth? Do you want them in sixth place? Because I quite wouldn't. It's an easier way to trip and guarantees 3 points. So.
Well, okay, it would be from a travelling point of view. It'd be nice if there were more nearby games because really we're only going to have Ilves as a nearby away game in this Champions series when the league splits. But I'm quite happy for Vaasa to finish 7th, be in the Veikkausliiga each year so we can have these games, but not successful. Thank you very much. They were good 2 years ago. That was really difficult to talk about. But this game, like I watched the highlights back, and they don't really show this, but it was a really feisty game. Like there were five yellow cards for Vaasa, 4 for Asikor, and we had our regular pantomime villain of Vaasa's right back, Mika Niemi, who is a wind-up merchant, and we do get wound up by him.
He should have got 3 of those yellow cards.
Yeah, at least, yeah. And he likes it, and he's sort of looking around and sort of smirking at us while we're giving him stick. I think that's all good fun. It's all good fun. Yeah. It's always good to have someone that you love to hate.
Yeah.
What about the What about the goals, Jules? Talk us through these.
Well, they're all down our end, weren't they? So we saw all
for
of the
once.
goals because
that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. So because they scored in the first half, 28th minute. What was it? It was to the back post.
And a header. It was a goal that you'd be really happy to score, and you're really annoyed that you conceded.
Yeah.
But it was decent. It was a decent goal.
But luckily, our second half performance I thought was much better than the first one, and so resulting in the 2 goals being scored in the same end after the break. And the second one, before that, there was in the first half when it was 1-0. Their player, I can't remember which one it is, broke out. Rope came out, but he beat Rope, who was like towards the edge of the box, and then hammered it towards goal. But great work by Calvin Pires
sliding into to block
block.
It. Yeah, that's worth a goal, isn't it? That kind of block.
Yeah, well, it's worth 3 points, I think, because if they go 2-0 up, I don't think we're scoring 3. So,
maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
And what I've just noticed as we're talking through this, like Ayo Obileye scored with a diving header from a corner. They were complaining about a foul. There was no foul in there.
No, there's no foul there. Yep. I thought Billy was a bit mean. He said a stumbling header.
Well, diving, stumbling, whatever.
I think it was a diving header.
Yeah. A slow dive. But then after that, it became more our game, didn't it?
Yeah, just one-way traffic really. And the 78th minute, Streng broke down the left, put a lovely cross for an unmarked Kasper Parnanen,
friend of the show.
So he was a bit right at the penalty spot. He was free there, and he basically had time. It was great work by Streng. He really picked him out perfectly. Looked up, picked him out. Great cross, bang on his head. Kasper had time to know the ball was coming, to pick his spot, and he put it past, back as you should do, back where the cross is coming from. And one of their defenders tried to stop it, but beat the goalkeeper. Great goal.
Yeah, it was all about the positioning. It wasn't it wasn't powerful, but it was in the right place, and their goalkeeper made a right mess of trying to get something on it. And I just realised that was three-headed goals. I hadn't thought about that.
No, I hadn't either.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And I've just watched the highlights. I didn't think about it then. It's just come to me now. But yeah, that was nice. That was it, the place that our end, the roof went off, and at the end of the celebrations, at the end, some flags got passed down to the players. And if you're in our WhatsApp group, I shared some pictures from the game in there, and there was a really nice moment where Lassi Karjalainen got a big flag and like planted it as if he was sticking it in the turf. Like this place is ours. And I was like, yeah, that's nice.
Meidän kotipeli, our home
Yeah.
game. Meidän
Yeah.
kotipeli. Oh. Yeah. And we got to sing Pina Pilatuja, which for those of you who don't speak Finnish or are not from Seinäjoki, it's Finnish pancakes, which is a Seinäjoki delicacy we talked about before. Spinach pancakes and mint meat sauce, which the Vaasa fans taunted us with, and we've adopted it because we're proud of our spinach pancakes, and Vaasa's got nothing to be proud of. So.
Gotta own it.
Yep.
Gotta own it.
Yeah, and I saw online, Mark, that this mackerel minute, the sausage minute, is getting some traction in the UK.
This is so funny. This is all my fault. Actually, it's not all my fault. It's partly Ash Civil's fault, because he sent a message or tweeted to the guys that make the Sweeper podcast. And they collect and tell all these stories of weird football stories from around the world. And he said about the Makkaraminuutti. Then they contacted me. Actually, Ash gave them my number, and then they had me on the Sweeper talking about it. And then a year later, they resurfaced this story, and then it got clipped and put on Instagram, and it's come to me 3 times in the last 6 weeks, round and round and round. So, yeah, it's good for us.
I think the follow up has to be the spinach pancakes. That's the next one. We can't just be a one trick pony. Then
well, it's funny. I'll put the link. I'll put the link to my, because We talked about this when we did an episode for the Finnish Football Show like 1.5 years ago. But I'll find a link to this thing I did for the Sweeper, and you can hear it, because I record my piece, and I actually at the end of it say, and there's also a story about why we sing a song about spinach pancakes and mincemeat sauce, but that'll have to wait for another episode. So maybe I need to get back in his ear and say, what about this?
Yeah.
But it's good.
But that was a great away trip.
It was, and that song is joyful as well. Like it's fun, and that set us up nicely for a week later an away trip to Pietarsaari, which is about an hour and a half away. So Vaasa's about an hour on the bus, and this is an hour and a half away. Monday the 18th, and it saw us beat FF Jaro 4-0.
Yeah, and this is the first time. Is it the second home game for Jaro? They got a nice,
possibly,
little stadium. I'd say what, about 4,000 capacity there?
Maybe, yeah.
4,000 with one toilet, possibly.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned already about getting in. The security was a bit not excessive, but just very thorough again. But yeah, there was a tiny toilet facilities with 2 urinals and one trap to sit down, and I think the women's had maybe 1 or 2 in there. It wasn't great. But there wasn't much space. They'd put it in next to the old ground, which was basically the athletics ground, and right next to the indoor ice hall. So there wasn't much real estate around it, and the buses struggled to get parked. And then the other thing, the queue for the drinks, they had one kiosk, and it says there beer this side and hot drinks this side. But what was your experience when you went there?
Well, everyone knows chocolate tastes really good with beer.
It really doesn't. It does not.
It does. Chocolate tastes good with everything. But you couldn't. So you queued up, got a beer. I'd like some chocolate, please. Oh, you have to get in the other queue.
That's just madness. These are queues that are side by side, and the people could literally reach and grab a bar of chocolate and give it to you. Just madness. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure they will figure out a better way to do it.
Yeah, indeed. But I must say, great hospitality that stuff from 4-0.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they invited us to their house and let us leave with all the points. But let's talk about these goals, because this was a game where I think Asikor played well in every part of the pitch. You know, defensively when we needed to, in the midfield, and then I think one of our best attacking performances, not just shown by the goals, but actually the quality of the attacking play as well.
I've just watched back this afternoon the goals, and I was actually quite surprised to realise that maybe all the goals or most of the goals came from breaks, but it was counter attacks, and I think the clear difference between the two teams is we both had chances and they were wasteful and we finished ours. We were clinical. So, and then after the first couple of goals, I think there's only, well, I wrote earlier there's only one team that was going on to win it, but then looking back, there were chances that they should have scored to take it back to 2-1.
This was a
3-1.
game where much of the action happened down the other end because we scored all our goals in the first half at the far end, and in the second half, it felt like a lot of the game was played coming towards our defence as well. So we had to be good in both aspects.
Yeah. So started off with 10th minute, there was a goal on the break, and Graham again, great work from Streng. So the ball fell to him, and Streng isn't just a goal scorer. He does have other things to his game as well than just being big number 9 in the box. So yeah, he broke really well down the right, I think it was, and then he tried to find a ball to Casper, who was running past the defenders, but it missed him. But luckily, Pereira got it onto it, cut it back nicely for Casper, who took a touch and then a really composed finish into the net.
That was really nice because the ball came to him and the defender was quite close, and he almost sort of shimmied and stepped back, took that touch, and then the opportunity completely opened up, and it was it was a nice finish. And the second one, like you said, was also a goal in the break.
Yeah, again, great work from Casper in the middle, who fed it to Vaasa, Rasmus Karjalainen, friend of the show, for Streng to slide in nicely and finish it. So that was a real goal scorer's, goal poacher's goal.
Yeah, I said that to Satu as we watched it back, that's where you want your centre forward to be. You've just said in both games that Streng has created opportunities for others around him, which is really important. And if he can do more of that, he's more than worth his place in the team. But then when balls are going in the 6-yard box, you want your centre forward getting on the end of them.
And he did. Great finish. Just got to get something on it, and good stretch, good finish.
The third goal was an individual goal.
Yeah, I didn't have to look back on the clip for this one. I just remember it. I think it will be a goal that I just remember for a very long time.
Yeah, Casper picked up the ball inside his own half, well inside the centre circle, behind the centre circle, and just drove forward with it. And it was the red shirts of Jaro. It was a bit like Moses parting the Red Sea. They just sort of opened up, and Casper went straight through the middle of the pitch towards the edge of the box, and just drove it home past the keeper. It was lovely.
Their number 11 was tracking him back the whole way, which shows you how bad the defence was that they split that. It was the number 11 who was on his shoulder. But just to think, Casper carried the ball that way, and he was going as fast as their player who wasn't carrying the ball.
Yeah.
So it's quite some speed that he was moving at. That the guy, you should be able to get if you're not carrying the ball, then you can run faster. But as I said to the Scotsman standing next to me, he's just increased his value by €50,000.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone that he's playing really well. They'll never notice. If we don't talk about it, nobody else will ever notice.
I think they'll notice when they look at the leading goal scoring table in Veikkausliiga and see Casper Paananen on the top of that, and look further down and see names like Pukki and Ring on it. So how much better? I
think he's 30% better now. It was 20% last time we spoke.
Yeah, much better.
There were a couple of offside goals in this. One for us, Rasse Karjalainen had one, and then Sissoko for Jaro, and they were like mirror image goals, breaking down the wing, crossing the ball across, the forward in each one with a cheeky little back heel into the goal, and both of them as offside or onside as each other. So, if one's off, then the other's off.
At least consistency is what we want from referees, and so we got that. I think both of them would have stood, personally, but then it's hard to say on that angle. With the Rasse one, he was in front of the players, that's true, but I think he was behind the ball.
Right,
So
yeah.
when the ball was crossed over, so I think the linesman can look across and say, yeah, he's in front of the players, but then in a way, it's impossible to look at the ball and the players because they're 20, 30 meters apart. So
And it's very difficult to see that on the replay as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we still had time to score one more goal. Another individual goal, really, from Ola Tessalimi.
Yeah, and another break.
Yeah, that's true. And what was noticeable about this is that he had the ball. He's carrying it himself forward into the box. He's got like 3 defenders around him, but somehow manages to sort of stop, turn, shake them off, and then finish it with a really powerful drive. The keeper's not far from it, but he's nowhere near stopping it. That's a really, really nice finish.
Great finishing by everyone involved.
Yeah, the whole game.
All the players that scored. Yeah, some great finishes there. So.
As you wrote in our notes here, they were wasteful. They had chances, but they were wasteful, and we were clinical, and that was the big difference.
Yeah.
All right, Jules,
yep.
take us through the upcoming fixtures.
Yeah, so the next one is, as we sit here now, it's 2 days' time, but when this comes out, it's possibly tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Monday night, we're away to Haka, so Valkeakoski, 6 p.m. kickoff. I thought I was going, then I thought I'm not going, but my fairy godmother, I think that might be Oskari, is my fairy godmother, says I am going to the ball, so I'm going to the game. So luckily I'm getting a lift there because I was going to drive down, but I can't get the car. So luckily I'm getting a lift down.
And just as luckily, it's a 6 o'clock kickoff, so you'll be back before midnight and your car won't turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, and just as lucky I'm not driving Billy's car and I won't get a speeding ticket, as has happened before. So
yeah. True that. And then a week later, Sunday 31st, big home game against Kups from Kuopio.
Yeah, the last home game of the season before the top 6 split and play each other home and away. So
yeah, and let's just have a quick run through the top of the table, just so that from where we are at the moment, right at this very moment, Ilves are playing against
Ilves are winning 1-0 against Inter. Yeah.
They're winning 1-0, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I suppose we want a draw would be ideal because Inter will move away up. I'm wondering if Inter's bubble has burst. They hadn't lost all season now. This they lose, it would be two games on the bounce.
That is true, and it really, because they were 9 points clear at one stage, and now if this result stays as it is, they're 1 point clear, and we are 6 points behind them with a game in hand. So it's those top. So let me just read the top of the table. Let's assume that game finishes as it is. So there's Inter at the top with 43, Ilves second on 42, Kups on 40, Hoyiko on 38, us on 37. And actually, at the moment, just below us is Vepsu on 25 points, but they played one game more than Gnistan, who are also on 25 points. So, and depending on results, Jaro still have a chance of finishing in the top half.
They still have
a
chance, don't they?
They do. Yeah. They're on 22 points. So it's all to play for at the top, and in the middle. Well, at the bottom, there's teams just don't seem to want to win.
Well,
yeah, it is. Yeah, the whole thing's open. And as a reminder to the listener,
the other night they were winning, and then
against Vaasa, wasn't it? Yeah, last night. Yeah, and they've thrown away too many points. I think, even though they've got some very experienced players there, they're just not getting the results that they probably deserve. But just to remind the listener, the league split. So after the Kups game, every team's played 22. They played each other twice. The league split. The top 6 play against each other twice, home and away. The bottom 6 only play each other once. And then you have the relegation playoff for the team finishing 11th. And there's none of this silly European playoffs this year. It's just all done on league positions. But that means we've got 10 more really competitive, the games that matter. I think it's great.
Yeah, but even before that, if SJK and Kups let's say they both win, they both draw, they both lose. If the results stay the same, we've got them for the last game of the season at home. We're 3 points behind them with a one worse goal difference. So if we beat them at home, then we go above them in the table, assuming that we win, they win, and the results are the same. So it's there. It's there for the taking.
One thing I wanted to mention, we've experienced in the last 3 seasons before this one, our team has sort of hit some kind of wall in July, and we've been really bad in the second or the ending part of the season. Oh, not really bad, but we've definitely lost results, and our form has dropped. And
we did it in May this year, didn't we?
Well, we did have the month of May where we couldn't win for toffee, but that was when we had a lot of defenders out and the team was really sort of missing key players. But they've clearly sorted out the fitness thing that was causing problems in previous years, and
this year
we're strong now. We're playing well,
and we've brought players in this season as well to strengthen for now, and possibly with an eye on next season as well. So there's more strength in depth. One of the reasons why we fell off the cliff last July is players just get run out of energy. We've been playing the same players again and again and again every match. And you notice in Jaro we arrested quite a few players, or rested. They were suspended, but
they rested themselves. The officials arrested them for us. Yeah.
So that was a good result with, you wouldn't say, the normal starting 11. So it's great that we've got these players who can come in and we don't notice a drop in quality, or players we can bring off the bench.
Yeah, that's true. It's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
Looking forward to this end of the season.
It is published somewhere, the results, but I'm looking forward to getting the actual results in the calendar, or the fixtures in the calendar.
Yeah, I mean, we know the days that certain games are going to be played, but of course, it all depends where we finish in the table as to who we're playing and when. So it's after next Sunday's game against Kups, then we'll see, and then there's an international break, and then we'll come back with more Veikkausliiga action.
For previous seasons, it's always gone that the first place second in the last game, third place fourth in the last game, and fifth place sixth in the last game.
Right, okay.
With the higher one of those two of the team being home advantage.
Right.
If that is the case this season, it might not be bad for us to finish fifth, because then we would be playing whoever finishes sixth, and we would be at home, so we wouldn't have a nasty away trip to win.
No, that's true. I'd be quite happy to finish first.
Yeah, but we can't finish first in the Runkosarja in the next 2 games.
No, it would need something very, very silly to happen in that time. It's unlikely to happen. So, let's see what comes along. Jules, I'm running out of time because I'm off to go and watch another game of football on telly. So, how about we just wrap that up for this episode? Listener, remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening, and you can find the whole archive of the show on YouTube.
And you can contact the Seinäjoki Supporters Podcast by email at seinäjokifootballpod@gmail.com. You can find links to all our content on Linktree at Seinäjoki Football Pod.
Yeah, and I mentioned the WhatsApp group just now, so we continue the conversation between podcasts. It's open to any fans of ASICO, so if you want to join, go to Linktree, find the link to request to join, and I'll ask you a couple of questions. If you answer those questions, I'll let you in. If you don't answer them, you ain't getting in.
Okay, and we promise that we'll have somebody who actually knows what they're talking about next episode, so we'll have a guest.
Yes, we will.
But until then, see you at the stadium, or see you at the, what is it, Tedaskenta? Is it Factory Stadium?
Factory Field.
Factory Field, yeah. It's not a stadium, is it?
Not really.
Factory ground.
Yeah.
Factory ground. Where they've got even worse toilets, haven't they? They've got their portaloos.
Yeah. But football's not all about toilets. It's also about buses, beer, hot dogs, and football.
But the beer does kind of lead to the latter, to the toilet, doesn't it? But anyway, so see you there, or see you at home for Cups game. So, goodbye.
Heippa.